Hey guys, it is me, Victoria. So today I want to make a video inspired by a conversation I was having with my friend who said one time he was rejected by this girl who insulted his looks, and it really took a toll on his self-esteem and self-image. And this has happened to me a lot of times too, where mostly when I was younger, you know, somebody would make some sort of negative comment about the way I looked, and it would send me into this self-loathing downward spiral about, thinking like, oh my god, like my looks just aren't good enough to compete in this world. Like, face the facts, I'm not hot, and like only Victoria's Secret supermodels like win life, and the rest of us are just like doomed. And all these guys don't think I'm hot enough, and like the fact is, I'm not hot enough, and like let's just face facts. So then I would just kind of think like I'm ugly, and that would be my self-image. And I would just kind of have this idea like lots of girls are hotter than me, they have something I'll never have. Once I started working as a stripper, that mentality was kind of like cleared out of me, because I had to deal with a lot of rejection and a lot of comments about the way I look, and a lot of people like staring at me and whispering about like the way I looked. That would happen a lot of times. Like, you're on stage and a whole group of friends is doing what you do at a strip club. Like, you have to accept that, which is just being like, oh, I don't like her, she's not very good, she's not hot enough, I'm not a fan of that body type. Or the opposite, like maybe they were saying something really positive, but you just couldn't tell, so you're just like, all these people are watching you whispering, and you're just like, oh my god. They could be saying something horrible about me, they could be saying something amazing about me. And actually a lot of strippers, they would have the same fears. Like, you would think they're all confident, but they would be like, oh, I always think that people are like saying bad things about me. When really, like, the guys were usually saying, oh my god, she's so hot. Like, seriously. Because sometimes, they would come over to you later and be like, oh, I was talking about you up there, I thought you were the best one, or whatever. So anyway, I had to deal with this problem of my self-image, and how to maintain a positive self-image in the face of criticism, in the face of insults, in the face of people saying, oh, you're way too fat, that's not my body type, my preferred body type. Or in the rest of my life, like boyfriends saying, oh, this girl's like hotter than you. And I'm like, what? Or just like, you're at a club and this guy kind of gives you like this no look, and you're just like, what do I do now? Because I have to rebuild back my self-image from this threat of self-loathing, thinking I'm not good enough, I'm ugly, blah blah blah. So let me get to the point and tell you these 6 attitudes that you need to combat these insults and criticisms. So I was thinking of it, it's kind of like in tennis, alright? The ball's coming at you, but it's a matter of your technique, and it's a matter of what angle you hold the racket at, which determines whether the ball just goes flying out of the court and you're a horrible tennis player, or whether you're an amazing tennis player. It's all these subtle ways of approaching the ball, coming at the ball, You gotta have the angle just right, and you gotta have the rhythm just right. So it's the same in life. You have to have the correct attitude, and you have to have the correct technique to combat these insults and like insecurities in life. So I'm going to show you 6 tips to combat your insecurities. Alright, so the first one is that, this is very important, I definitely learned this at the strip club, is that the people who are most rude and critical, the people who insult your appearance when they're talking to you instead of complimenting your appearance, Well, it quickly becomes apparent that these people just suck. Like, they are people who nobody likes. And I'm not saying that as like an insult to them. Like, imagine if you're the kind of person who, when you talk to someone, you make them feel great about themselves. Well, that person instantly responds positively to you, and wherever you go, you're always making people feel good about themselves, and people are always giving you smiles. They're drawn to you, they want to be close to you, they want to be friends with you. Now, imagine if you're the kind of person who, instantly jumps to an insult and a criticism. Like, people are just going to be, like, turned off from you. They're going to think you're annoying, difficult, rude. They're not going to want to be friends with you. And it's like, so sort of like, they dig their own grave. Because instead of having the social skills to be this kind of person who just makes everyone feel like warm and wonderful, they make people feel the opposite. So somebody who criticizes your appearance and insults you, just kind of pity them and know that their life probably sucks, because they're the kind of people who kind of always say the wrong thing. And it's like, where some people, the world looks like happy and friendly and wonderful because of the way they act in the world and the positive attitude they approach people with. Other people are getting the exact opposite response, and the world looks like harsh and critical because they themselves are harsh and critical. So it's kind of sad, because it's like this, vicious cycle that they probably can't get out of, and they don't realize that if they would just stop, like, insulting people and putting people down for their looks, like, they would get a so much better response in life. But, so my point is that people who criticize your looks, they're not, they're not the people you really need to pay attention to. They're kind of these, like, lonely people, because people don't respond well to them. They're not really a part of, they're not really accepted and loved by society. And it's not necessarily that you look ugly, it's more about their poor social skills. So in that situation, like, when someone would say something really, like, critical and harsh to me almost for no reason, like I'm being really friendly to them, and they're insulting me, I'm just like, well, first of all, I don't really want to be around people like that. And second of all, I have pity, or I don't know if compassion is too strong a word, but I should have compassion for them because they don't know any better. So this video is getting too long already, so I'm going to cut this into 6 parts. So this is the first part. And then finally, I just wanted to say, like, on the same topic, like, aren't the best people in the world, like, sometimes I'll read this article about, like, a guy who's just like, I don't care if my wife gains, 50 pounds. Like, I'll still love her just the way she is. It's like, the most beautiful people in life, I've always thought, are the ones who are most accepting. And the ones who just kind of don't care about looks, but see people for who they are within. So that's just one way to think about it. If someone insults you, it's just like not a nice quality to, in a person. And you don't want to be around these people, and you don't want to take these people too seriously, because like I was saying, they probably have, a bad beat in life or whatever. So, alright, I'll be back in the next video with number 2, attitude.